here in Jerusalem, just between the city of David and the Temple Mount, some amazing discoveries have been found in the past couple of decades. And I emphasize the couple of decades because Eilat Mazar dug here underneath the towering figure of Benjamin Mazar, her father, and then she re-excavated this about 7 years ago. So there's a 20-year span between those excavations. In the beginning, Benjamin Mazar and Eilat, who was helping out as a youngster, discovered this amazing complex gate structure and walls. Some of them dating from the Iron Age period, from Solomon's time period, others rebuilt after the exile from Ezra and Nehemiah. Let's go down and see some of the best preserved Solomonic walls in Jerusalem. This relates to 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 1. In 1 Kings chapter 3, it's just before Solomon's great prayer over in the high place of Gibeon. The author writes, "Then Solomon formed a marriage alliance with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and took Pharaoh's daughter and brought her into the city of David, until he had finished building his own house, and the house of the Lord, and the wall around Jerusalem." It's Eilat Mazar's contention, and it's not without support, that this structure here, those large, very large limestones plugged with smaller stones here, is from that 1000 BC era, from the 10th century. That is really remarkable for those to be standing for 3,000 years, sort of a testament of that Solomonic wall that was built as a wall around Jerusalem, because it was Solomon who incorporated the house of the Lord further to the north, the Temple Mount of today. It wasn't David, it was Solomon, right? And so this building structure, excavated by Benjamin Mazar, reaffirmed by Eilat Mazar, really brings us back to our earliest stages of Jerusalem from the Israelite period. Not only this, though, further on, next to the gate, about 7 years ago, a boule was discovered. A boule with a winged animal, and an inscription was partly deciphered, but it was misread. And so an ancient paleographer and person who works with inscriptions reread the inscriptions, discovered over in this area where there are some pots and such. This boule was reread and agreed by all now that this boule relates to none other than King Hezekiah. And that was well established years ago. But reread just after the 2009 excavations, just a couple years ago, was another inscription with the prophet Isaiah, both from that same era of the 8th century. This winged disc placed upon this boule, the seal, causes some little confusion as why those foreign symbols of Assyria and such would have been placed on such a seal for a prophet of Israel or a king of Israel. Maybe because they were trying to acclimate themselves to foreign rules and deities or such. In Hezekiah's time period, that was the case. Or maybe it didn't have the same imports, we're not sure. But we now have established through Eilat Mazar's renewed excavations after her grandfather decades ago, and reread by ancient paleologists, experts in inscriptions, clay seals that relate both to the King Hezekiah and the prophet Isaiah. Amazing connections. Over 55 different persons have now been connected from archaeological excavations to the biblical record. Direct and proof positive, as one scholar has put it, different gradings that he gives. So thanks be to God that we can dig back into the land, excavate, and see how different biblical characters come alive in all of their colorfulness, and as challenging as it can be, in giving further details to the people of the Bible here in the land of the Bible. Thanks be to God for this Watergate area, the structure filled with amphoras, jars of ceramics that were preserving wine and grains and different agricultural produces, along with these amazing seals. They bring the Bible alive in a new way. It's exciting to be in the land, which is our classroom. The Bible, that's our guide. Thanks be to God that we can explore together